Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser, Great Things Tampa Bay, and today talking about Podfest 2019. Just got back from Podfest over in Orlando, had a great time, learned a bunch of great stuff, and today I'm going to share with you some of the things that I learned and also what Podfest is all about. So Podfest 2019 is a conference. It is for podcasters as well as YouTubers, anyone really leveraging new media to promote both their ideas, their business, or maybe just something they have an interest in. It's put on by a gentleman named Chris Krimitsos and John Dumas. Chris Krimitsos, he actually runs the local podcast meetup here in Tampa Bay, which happens the second Tuesday of every month. A wonderful guy. Best way I could describe that group is helpful. So everyone there is very upbeat, very willing to help, very open, and everyone just really tries to help each other out, tries to bring success to everybody. If you ever have a question on anything from beginning to advanced, there's always someone there that's going to be able to help you out and answer your question. So, and Podfest was basically taking that small meeting and turning it large. So there's roughly around 1,000 attendees at Podfest, has most of the major vendors in the podcasting community. So Libsyn's there. Himalaya, which is a new podcast player, was there. They actually sponsored the whole thing this year, which was kind of cool. Heil or Heel, however you want to pronounce that. Major microphone manufacturers are there. And you can try out different products and see which one's going to best fit your show. It's 3 days of events, and it's packed. 3 days of events. There's 6 rooms. There were 6 rooms in total. I actually got to speak at a couple of them, which was kind of cool. One of them was Pecha Kucha, which is a 5-minute presentation on a topic of your choice. I, of course, being a mild internet nerd, chose how to have success on internet forums, which was a lot of fun. And then I actually sat on a panel for creating local podcasts, or geolocal as they were called in the conference. So I was there with other podcasters from Philadelphia, Salt Lake City, another one called Finding Florida, who they cover the entire state of Florida. In addition, there's also networking events. Yeah, they have this thing called Strategic Alliance, where basically you meet like 40 people in rapid succession. It's a great way to get to know a lot of people really quickly. And then Keynote Speakers of Notes. So Tyler Sheff, he cash flow guys, he does real estate investment show, and he actually attends our local group, and he was there. John Lee Dumas was also a keynote speaker. He does Entrepreneur on Fire, which is a very large podcasting community. You might have heard of it. And the Stacking Benjamins guy was there. Quite a few audio dramas were there, if that's your thing, if you like. So audio dramas, for those who don't know, it's kind of like the old-timey radio, clip, clop, 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 build a story with sound effects and all that sort of stuff. It's a huge segment of the podcasting space. It doesn't traditionally have a lot of overlap with sort of the more, I guess you could call it, edutainment stuff, where people are talking about video games or Tampa Bay. It's kind of its own little sector, but Chris and Podfest, they were able to actually create a community where they could gather and, swap ideas and knowledge, which was awesome. So it was 3 days. It was jam-packed, basically from 8 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. It was just nonstop learning or meeting people, talking to people. Learned a lot of great stuff. If you have any interest in learning how to podcast, I'd recommend coming to one of the podcast meetings. I'm there usually every month. You can stop by, say hello. I'll be happy to help you out with any questions you might have. If you are already podcasting or want a little bit of a deeper dive, Podfest is definitely amazing. You did miss this year's because it's March 13th, and Podfest has already happened. It is happening next year about the same time. I think it's March 6th through the 10th, and it's going to be at the Marriott World. Yeah, other than that, I can't recommend it enough to be honest. They do have some sections on other aspects of new media stuff. So they did have a section on YouTube. They did have speakers who are just talking about speaking or building memberships or just marketing yourself, how to grow on LinkedIn and Instagram, because it's all kind of the same. It doesn't really matter what business you're in. Those techniques apply to podcasting because it is a business. It does cost me money to do this. So anyway, I'll provide a link to the Podfest sign up below. I'd love to see y'all either at the upcoming meeting or at the annual conference over in Orlando. Oh, and if you could, there's a little button below that says subscribe. If you could just click on that for me, please. New channel, trying to get off the ground a little bit. You'll really help me out. I definitely appreciate it. I promise I'm going to be talking about some really cool stuff on this channel, some awesome things to do in Tampa Bay. So help me out. Click the subscribe below, and if you really like it, share it with a friend. My name is Kyle Sassy. This is Great Things Tampa Bay. Thanks for tuning in.